Hello, I'm Ghida Fakhry. Welcome to We the People, a series which takes us across the United States of America to meet some of the people whose lives are being affected by the issues gripping this year's presidential election. The candidacy of Barack Obama has made race a central factor in the presidential campaign. From the time of slavery, African Americans have been one of the most disenfranchised groups in the U.S. Today, for the same work, African Americans may earn half as much as white Americans. They're more likely to get convicted and receive harsher sentences for the same crimes. Well, despite this grim reality, there is a new generation of African American students on the rise. Obama's speeches inspire them, and the prospect of seeing the first African American elected president of the U.S. galvanizes them. We followed two African-American teenagers in Washington, D.C., embracing Barack Obama's example, who refused to let race be an obstacle to their aspirations. It is their voice, and they feel it is their time.
My name is Alicia Talley. I'm 14 years old, and I live with my mother and my stepfather.
Alicia Talley defies racial stereotypes. An African-American teenager, she is the vision of what America's first viable black presidential candidate, Barack Obama, talks about.
And today, what gives me the most hope is the next generation. The young people whose attitudes and beliefs and openness to change have already made history in this election.
Today, many black students go to schools that are considered inferior to their white counterparts. This makes it hard for them to compete and to break out of a legacy of poverty. But not Alicia. She wants to be a leader for the future.
Here comes John McCain.
I'm very involved in politics. I love politics. I watch all the debates and stuff.
Well, depends.
Obama is a very inspirational speaker. I think he's a perfect example of what your speech should be for any debater. I'm a very argumentative person, so that's mainly why I like debate.
Alicia is a member of the debate team at WOODSTREAM Christian Academy, an elite private school in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. Alicia and her classmates are training for the next urban debate tournament. They will compete for the prize against the strongest public schools in the city.
Need some good breakfast.
Debate is a class. We have it on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
7:30 in the morning, be here, and on to victory, right?
On Saturday, we have our tournament. We're going to be debating against different schools. It's very important that we keep our streak going and keep showing that we're not just the average team, that we're the team that's going to strive and be the best and take number one.
Being number one is a goal that Barack Obama has set himself in the race for the White House. His debates with the other candidates have inspired young people like Alicia, who are getting involved in politics in record numbers.
Yeah, they support gay marriage.
Barack Obama is a very good role model. When Barack Obama speaks, kids are listening too, and I think the important thing is that he's reaching young people across the board, white and black. People like Alicia and the other kids on her debate team are going to be the future leaders. And it's good that he's a black person because it gives them the idea that it's possible. It makes them dream.
Well, this is my room, my mirror. This is what I call my wall of dreams. And it basically has my hopes for the future. And this over here is my top 10 colleges and my someday profession, a constitutional lawyer, hopefully a senator later on. Because I think if I become a senator, I can get my voice heard. I'm very proud of my culture. I'm not ashamed of being African American, but don't really like to focus on the race factor.
Aside from being taller than me, you look pretty good.
The majority of the people in this area are African American. When I look around it, I do see that I'm more fortunate than other people.
Now, God, we pray over our worship.
Just having a church community, even though I am from a broken family, I still have a lot of loved ones who are always there to support me, and everybody around this area doesn't necessarily have that. They might have just a mother or just a father. Candace is one of my best friends. We're with each other 24/7. Travis, he's also very close to me. I think some of the perceptions that are placed on us is that we're not going to succeed like everybody else is. We might be intelligent, but we're not as intelligent as our counterparts.
I can take a plane, hop in the sky, fly.
Alicia's not the typical urban black child.
So sweet, make a tear,
She's not allowed to dress like some urban children dress. She's not tattooed all over the place. She speaks proper English. So when Alicia's in D.C., otherwise known as Chocolate City, to some of the urban kids, she's probably looked at as a rich suburban kid who may be trying to be white.
Even though this is a small school, we take our academics very seriously, and we don't just settle for average, we settle for academic excellence. Yeah, that's one of our mottos.
Good afternoon, everyone. We started a debate program 3 years ago. That's really our emphasis here at WOODSTREAM. We want our kids to go out and be world changers. They want things to be different for them, and I think they are involved in politics for that reason. What topic did you guys choose to debate today in preparation for Saturday?
DC Public Schools
should discontinue the celebration of Black History Month.
Okay, that's a good one. So again, you have 3 minutes for your opening statements. So Alicia, Tally, announce yourself and what side you're debating, and then we'll begin.
Candace, Travis, and I, we're the best team on the debate team. We complement each other well, and we're able to think on our feet quickly.
I mean, a lot of debate issues that we tackle are in reference to crime and poverty and drugs and, teen pregnancy or whatever. So they're very much more informed, and their parents are very supportive of debates.
A lot of black kids, they really don't do debate, but I really think it's positive. I really think it helps control your anger. I don't really have to really face racism because most of the environments that I am in are all black. I go to an all-black school, an all-black church. I play on an all-black basketball team. I think it's a lot different than the real world.
In Candace's world, she is the majority. She doesn't know what it's like to be a minority, which is very different from how I grew up.
Because Alicia and her classmates live in a sheltered environment, they know about racial issues from afar.
All right, let me play my game, Bob.
I and my husband, we don't talk about it. We don't say, well, this probably happened because you're black.
Early on, we had all of our kids in a public school. With my son, we felt like he needed to not be ashamed to be a black male. He needed not to make excuses for wanting to excel and to succeed. He would make the honor roll, and there would be people there ready to beat him up at school, and we thought this is very unhealthy. And then the opportunity opened up here at WOODSTREAM Christian Academy.
When I was growing up, I always wanted to go to college, but my parents did not have the same expectations of me going to college as I have for Alicia. They were more involved in earning a living so that they could put food on the table, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay,
Whereas with me and my husband, we understand the importance of education, and we have the financial means more so than my parents did to see to it that she can go.
The biggest challenge to Alicia and her team comes from a prestigious inner-city public school, McKINLEY Tech. McKINLEY Tech has collected first-place trophies in previous debate competitions, and they expect to get one more in the coming tournament.
My name is Alexis Harris. I go to McKINLEY Tech.
So are you telling me that we are so
Debate has influenced my life. It's helping me. It's like a background for becoming a lawyer. That's like my number one goal. Okay, my number two goal to be a lawyer. My number one goal is to be president of the United States.
When I first heard about Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton running, I was like, oh man, now I'm not going to be able to be the first African American and the first female president.
Today, many black families break under the pressure of low incomes and unemployment. 65% of black teenagers are led by a single parent, a third of black children live in poverty, and about half of them drop out of high school. But Alexis believes in opportunity and education. She has what Obama calls the audacity of hope that sets her far apart from her father's generation.
When I was in high school, my counselor told me after she looked at my grades, she said, son, the best thing that you can do is get a skill because a career isn't for you. With Alexis, she has so many more opportunities than I had. I just wonder if she's going to make it out there, but you know, I know she will.
African Americans would probably say they expect more of me. Like they expect for our generation or my generation to go forth and be the best as you can be. They say that our generation is a generation of change.
What we have seen is that America can change. That is the true genius of this nation. What we have already achieved gives us hope, the audacity to hope for what we can and must achieve tomorrow.
I can make change. Kind of like Barack Obama, vote for change. That's kind of like what this generation is about. Change.
For all those who got a piece of the American dream, there are those who struggle to make it every day. About 40% of the homeless population in the US is African American and languish on street corners. Half of the population in prison is black.
All right.
Even for those blacks who did make it, race and racism continue to define their identity and their lives.
Even today, it's like racism still exists. So if I get on the train, the majority of the people on the train could be Caucasian, and probably they'll think of me as an African American girl. Or you have another side of the train that's saying, no, that's just a girl. It's an American, she's just a girl.
When are you all going to grow up and get out of my house? Tell me about school today, Frank.
My father being a single father, raising 4 kids for 11 years by himself, he's achieved so much. With money-wise, when it gets tight, I'll see like the food like starts to dwindle a little bit. So what I do is I try to save money. My mother choosing not to be with us, I see her as a way to make me stronger. You said if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. It had to kill me, so I think I'm growing each day. All right, you need to get your clothes out. Can you wear this? We ran away for. And I kind of became like a mother figure to Angela. My heart to you, there is no time underneath the stars. I used to dress her, change her diapers, feed her, all this stuff. Night, dude. Go to sleep.
She pretty much is the little lady of the house. And when she says something to these guys, it's like she's a drill sergeant.
Type it up, save it on a flash drive. I'll check it tomorrow. If you're not in the kitchen, the light is off.
Oh, yeah.
For like a really small person, I have a powerful voice. I'm quiet, I keep to myself a lot. But when I speak, it's like everybody's focused on me. Celebration of Black History Month should be discontinued. I got into debate because I was always curious about it. And I knew debate was a form of arguing. And then when I got to the class, I realized it wasn't only a form of arguing, it was an art. And you have to learn like the skill of debating. Yeah, I don't know much about WOODSTREAM, but I know for my teammates, they are difficult to beat. But we've always placed first, and this tournament will win. Of course, we know we'll win.
I think their chances are very good. She brings a lot of passion. In fact, I have to slow her down sometimes because she becomes Martin Luther King, and sometimes we don't need that. So she's a strong debater, and she's a big competitor. She doesn't like to lose.
I don't care what it is.
Don't put your hands on me.
You need to move.
You need to not put your hands on me.
Move.
If Mr. Roberts didn't believe in us, then we wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't be the first place team in D.C.
Good morning, McKINLEY. All McKINLEY students are invited to the debate tournament. All debate class students will meet today after school for last preparations. Go team.
All right, class, we need to get going here. We have a lot to do, and this is our last class before the big day. So first, let's look at racial profiling.
Topics do matter to us because they affect our everyday lives. We know what racial profiling is, not because we've looked it up on the computer, because we've lived it.
I had an incident about racial profiling. 5 police cars pulled up in front of the house, got out and told everybody, "Sit down and get on the ground." We weren't doing anything.
This country is still not equal. We're still suffering the effects of racism. That's why they have things like affirmative action.
Do you consider yourself a victim?
Yes, I do.
Racial profiling opens the door for law enforcement, most of whom are white, to make snap judgment decisions. It created this feeling in the community that if you were a young black man, you were assumed to be criminal. What's the resolution?
I can read it.
DC public schools should discontinue Black History Month.
The resolution is arguing that by making it 1 month, we marginalized its contributions.
I remember one time, somebody said, "I hate Black History Month." And I said, why would you even say that?
Back then we talk about Jared Morgan, he invented the gas mask. That's a black man that had a drink.
All right, what did you want to say? Great point. You have got to use that in the debate. Some people argue that if it had not been for Black History Month celebrations, we would not have Barack Obama's success.
You are right.
Today, many Americans, they live in places where you rarely ever see African Americans. So for them, the African American history celebration has been an opportunity to get to know and to trust and to vote for someone of a different color. You're doing great. Let's keep it going. I'm feeling victory in this room.
Coach Roberts may smell victory at McKINLEY, but across town at WOODSTREAM, Alicia and her team are also warming up for the debate. They want to come home with a win.
Just because the majority of black people are in jail doesn't mean they're being targeted because they're black. Maybe they're being targeted because they're actually doing something. There's a difference between race and evidence, Jonathan.
Do you have a definition of racial profiling?
I like the clash and I like speaking.
Is that a lexical
and yeah, it's just me time when I'm up there. Get to have all attention on me.
Is it a made-up definition or did you get it from a reliable source?
Well, why don't we just split the info tonight?
I haven't read the article because it was like 25 pages.
I need to work on my flowing. I don't flow very well.
You don't flow at all.
I do flow.
Oh, what are we gonna wear?
Oh yeah.
We're losing our time. We need to have more strategy when it comes. I think other than that, I think we'll win. I really do.
Okay, so I wrote down the things that
we practice extremely hard. The night before every debate, we're actually over my house, Candace, Travis, and I, and we're like just packing the home. It's an all-nighter.
Only the fittest.
They burn the midnight oil, getting the job done. They're mature enough to sacrifice their time, their weekends, studying, going to the library, that type of thing.
I wake up in the morning.
You have all your notes for your debate?
Yes. I'll travel to McKinley Tech. And I will meet with my team, start with preparing for our debate tournament.
Yo, sometimes I have to question my ability. Is it really worth pursuing a career with no stability?
Your adrenaline's pumping and you're just like really excited to debate. All our hard work's about to pay off. I stayed up all night, it better be worth something.
We can go out there and just knock them dead. This is our house. You're coming to McKinley Tech, we will win.
Traditionally, it wasn't a lot of people of color participating in debate. Sometimes the judges might assume that they don't know as much as their white counterpart.
People have lowered expectations for many of these students because of the skin color. And I've seen the way that people reacted to the students that we took out on the national circuit. People would ignore them. Many of the students felt isolated. Race comes up all the time. We're working on breaking down those barriers. And WOODSTREAM's a big deal because also there are class barriers that we're trying to break down, and that's what this is all about.
For the WOODSTREAM students, this tournament is also a chance to get out of the exclusive preserve of a private school and mix with inner-city students who are likely to come from lower-income families. Only once the topic is announced, the students learn if they have to debate in favor or against. At that point, they're given 20 minutes to prepare their arguments. It's a race against time.
In your rooms, debating. DC public schools should ban the celebration of Black History Month.
Once they give that 20 minutes, it's like I'm in the zone. It's almost like in the basketball game. Before the tip-off, you might be nervous, especially if it's a big game.
4 minutes! 4 minutes! Go, 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 go!
The topic of debate, Black History Month, an annual celebration of African Americans who have made a real difference. Alexis and the McKINLEY team will argue in favor that public schools should stop teaching Black History Month. Alicia and the WOODSTREAM team will argue against.
You guys, can we pray real quick?
Dear Lord, thank you for this day. We can come up with a victory, but if not, that we can deal with defeat.
Good morning. My name is Alexis Harris, and I'm arguing the proposition side. Yes, Judge, our history is too valuable to be simply pushed aside, but do you really believe that 1 month, the shortest month at that, is enough to cover the struggle, the pain, or what about the agony? We do not think so.
Who created air conditioning?
I'm sorry, honestly don't know that, but I do believe that it was African American. I'm not sure of the name at this moment.
They don't even know some of these key people's names, so therefore we have still not done our job. Yes.
Are you aware that here at McKINLEY Technology High School, we have an African American course that is not only studied during February?
Okay, I understand that you're aware that I said it's as much study in depth. Everybody's not required to take that course, so I'm just not going to concede to your point.
And we said from the very beginning that it is a requirement.
Black history is the pain from not being thought of as a human being, the passion behind justice, and it's the tears that fall from your face when you're whipped by a white man who calls himself your master.
But she just really set the tone for the debate, and she put the standard that we had to climb up to.
I think they did an excellent job, the best debate that I've ever been in, really. It was a lot of emotion.
In third place, from Bell, Michelle Cole, Veron Dennis, and Christian Moreno. Second place, with a record of 4-0, the WOODSTREAM team of Candace Brown, Travis Odell, and Alicia Talley. Come on down. And finally, in first place, with 36 total wins, McKINLEY.
I used to say I want to be like Venus Williams or Serena Williams. And I got a little bit older and I said, no, I want to be like Oprah Winfrey. And then I got older and I was like, no, I want to be like Barack Obama, or I want to be like all these people that you see in the media. I realized, no, I don't want to be like any of them. I want to be me. I want to be the first Alexis Harris. That's what I want to be.